Hey guys, hope we have an okay connection. So let me get to where I can see your chat. What's up? Yeah, I'm that guy. I've always tried not to be that guy. But today I am that guy broadcasting from my car. Yes, I am. For those of you who don't know, I think most of you, well, maybe don't, I don't know. So I can see if you're here. I can see that there are people here. But let me see your name. So I can see who's here. And then Doug, let me know when you're here. Although if you're not here, can't hear me saying, let me know when you're here. So yes, I am in the CEO of a theater company in Los Angeles, and we have a show tonight, and I'm on my way there, and traffic was LA style, so almost there, didn't quite make it, pulled off, sitting in a parking lot, broadcasting, because I wanted to be on time, and because we have a lot to cover, so I wanted to dive in. Super excited about our topic tonight, and for all you gatekeepers out there, hi Paula, good to see you. Good to see you. So you guys are, hey Doug, can you share into Gatekeepers? You guys are getting some LA action here. So I'm in, so you're gonna see, I am in, there's a drive-through right in front of me, so you're gonna see like cars going by. So see, it's a drive-through. There you have it. That's my life. Hi Cindy. So that's our life tonight. We are LA style, totally LA style. Thanks Doug. But we're just gonna kind of dive right in with planning your 2019, because I know that quite a few people will probably watch this in the replay. So I just want to dive in because there's a lot to cover, and I want to get to the theater too. So there's that. So screeners, hopefully I'll make it to the theater by the time we do our session. Because I'm really close, not quite close enough, but really close. So anyway, so today we're gonna plan 2019 because it's gonna be a good year, right? Who's going to have a good year in 2019? So what we thought we would do is we're going to take you through some goal setting, and then we have a handout, of course. It's a good one though. To me, it's more than just a handout. Typically we do a one-page handout with exercises, but this is homework. Like, you need to take this and I think take some time with it. We're going to I'm going to touch on different things about it, but in general, I just thought, I've got my light. I wonder, my light's on. If my car were to die, my battery would die, that would not be good. Oh wait, and now my computer's turned off because I need to see the handout. This is one that you need to sit with a little bit, because it's got some reflection stuff that we'd like you to do, and we really are sincere about wanting to create a place where you guys can determine what your year is and really go for the things. There's no mystery to any of this. There's no mystery to the people that get their movies made or their screenplays done or whatever. It's just a matter of perseverance, and there is some luck, obviously, but it's not mystery. Sometimes there's, things that happen in the right place, right time. But I really do think that also has to do with your mindset and your willingness to be open to opportunity. And there's just so many factors that play into getting things done that we wanted to at least be a place to get you started. At least be that place where you come for the voice of reason, or not reason. The voice of, encouragement is really what we mean to get you going. So I'm going to dive right in. Basically, you're going to have a handout. It's like 10 pages. Like, it's a book. It's a little book. We're giving away books now. That's what we're doing. And we're going to kind of just start through. And we're going to do a fun thing. We're going to try something new today. I'm also losing my voice. It's that kind of day. It's been a really strange day. Anyway, yeah. So, and then, I have a friend who's amazing, and she supplies catering, so my car is full of food. Welcome to my world, man. This is the life of a producer. But yes, we have a very cool handout today. Wow. Wow, Cindy, right? So we have a really cool handout today. I feel like I'm a little frazzled. You're like, one of the comment pages, somebody goes, why does she keep saying squirrel? That made me laugh out loud. Squirrel. What? That's a thing. Is that not a thing like everywhere? I thought that most people knew what that meant. Has nobody seen Up? Anyway. It's Up, right? Yeah. So let me make sure. Scroll. Okay. So we're gonna kind of go. I'm gonna take you through. I'm gonna take you. Hi, Brenda Lee. Nice to see you from Rhode Island. Is it cold? I was about to say burr, but I don't know. I don't even know. Everything's cold to me in California now that I'm home from the snow. I promise not to go on snow tangents. Right? And up, a squirrel. Why does she keep saying squirrel? So grab a pen and paper or your laptop or your iPad or your back of your hand, whatever it's going to be, and we'll take you through some of it, and then we will give you a handout. But there's so much to read in the handout that I didn't want to, have you be reading while we're trying to just take you through a few things. And we're going to try something new. That's what I started to say before I got distracted by my own squirrel jokes. Is that we are going to try something new today. We're going to do some prizes. Very exciting. So we have a few Staples gift cards, and we will get your email. And hi from Georgia. Hi, Lori. We will get your email, and then we will just send you a link to Staples gift cards, because it's time to plan in the new year. People are going through the drive-thru and they're like, there's a woman in there. Although it's not that unusual now, especially in LA. Like LA, they're always like, you can do the weirdest things in LA and people just right up by. We're gonna give away because it's the New Year's, right? Hey, Peggy. So it's the New Year's, and you need office supplies, right? I'm a total office supply geek. Like I'm a total I have a problem, actually. I love the office supply store. You know how when you're a kid, well, maybe you don't. Is this a California thing? Do you have Toys R Us? Nobody has Toys R Us anymore. Meh. But it was such a big deal to go to Toys R Us. That's how I feel at Staples. I'm like, oh, I get Staples and Container stores. I need help. But, so, you need your markers and your Sharpies, and, we're giving you exercises with Post-its and all that. So, we're going to give away a couple of Staples gift cards. Kind of fun, right? Hi, this is Peggy. So, what we'd like you to do. So, basically, we're going to kind of give you just the groundwork of just 10 steps to always, right? To let's get your 2019 off to a good start. So, and we're hoping that the replay of this, continues on and people continue to use this throughout December and hopefully in through January. And I say this all the time. I'm not a huge proponent of, freebies, of New Year's resolutions, because I feel like we sometimes shoot ourselves in the foot with New Year's resolutions, where we're like, I'm going to do this. And then by February, we're like, what was it again? And then we start beating ourselves up. It's a chance to, beat yourself up. So I know you can, huh? You can always find something fun, says Lori, in Staples, or almost at Home Depot. Home Depot too, but that's when I'm doing haunted houses. Anyway, I keep forgetting. Sorry, to log back in. So we're going to take you through 10 steps, and that you can do at any time of the year, really. And we do a big thing every June, new June, saying, okay, it's now June, half the year's over, at the end of June, half the year's over, what have you done? And then we kind of refresh everything. So as we do this, we're talking about really the first 6 months. That's what we want you to plan. That's what you want. We don't want to create this New Year's resolutions of, I'm going to lose 50 pounds by Tuesday. It's like, what we want you to do is really think about some of the habits, some of the shifts that you can make. These are long-term shifts. We're talking lifestyle shifts. We're not talking there are goals, and weight loss might be one. It is for me, but it might be one, for people, but it's not like, we want it to be something that you can use all year long. So we're going to start with the first 6 months. And basically we want you to come from this place of, what could you do? What would you do if you knew that you would not fail? If you just knew that failure is not an option. I have a friend who actually says failure is not an option. I've actually tried to get her to back off from that, because then if things don't go her way, she beats herself up. So it's like, but what if you knew that, because I don't think that failure is a thing. I think they have a saying called fail forward. I think that there's things going better or the way that you want them to go. And then there's things taking you in a direction that you weren't expecting. And so we all say that we love surprises, right? No, we like surprises that we like. We don't really like surprises that we don't like. So I really think that failure is more about, just providing a new path. And so let's make a list. Give me some examples and let me know here in the comments. Give me some examples of, things you want to explore and perhaps tackle in 2019. What is something that you would like to do? Is it, for those of you that are screeners, I have a few screeners here, is it get through the course? because it's dense. Is it you want to write your screenplay? Is it that you do want to change jobs? So in the handout, I'm going to take you through what each step is and kind of talk about each step. But then in the handout, there's lists for you to create. There's some reflection exercises for you to really think about things. And then next week, I want to come back and kind of talk about what you learned, what I want to share a little about once you have the handout. So like some of the examples we have is I want to start my own business. I want to quit the job that I have right now. I want to, improve my health. Like this is the year I'm going to get a book deal. Like what are some of the things, yay for Cindy, get through the course. We have screen readers in here that are in our screen reader course, and it's dense. There's a lot of material in there. And so it can be daunting for some people. And we drip it out every week, but we encourage you to work at your own pace. Like we never want anyone to feel pressured. We always want it to be fun. And so some people are like, okay, this is it. I need to finish, because we're having such a good time that some people aren't finishing. So we obviously encourage you to finish, but give me some examples of someone else. What is something else that you would like to accomplish, do, write a book? She's going to get through the course and she's going to write a book and scripts. So part of the exercise, and this is a great example, thank you, Cindy, because it's a good example, because part of the exercise will be to kind of hone in and hone down and choose and pick and prioritize the things that you want to do first. And then once you get to that, then you can move on to the other thing, because Cindy, you sound like you're a lot like me in that I have a lot of things that I want to do. And so sometimes I can get a little bit scattered in trying to do them all. So that's the first thing, is like, if you knew you could not fail, what would be the thing that you would accomplish? To really think about that, like to let go of, fear, or let go of expectation, or let go of, what that person in your life that rolls their eyes at you, what they're saying, and what would it be? And so we're going to give you some reflection exercises to do with that. So step 2 is, so in order to make that happen, like what do you need to let go of? What are the beliefs maybe that are holding you back? Like what are the things that and that could be one too, is like taking on too many things at once. That can actually stop you from doing anything, because you can get overwhelmed. So what are you going to need to let go of in order to make these things happen? So just some of the examples that we'll give, and we give plenty more examples. And then basically, we kind of take you through some exercises. We have some quotes in there to inspire you. And then we'd like you to share in the Facebook group kind of things. My car's like, no more like, ooh, now it's like, my car's like, no. We're not doing this. Hang on. There we go. Just start my car. Wait. Don't want the lights on, people. Okay. So turn off the radio. Okay. Chaos. There's chaos. Okay. So like, what are some of the things that you would have to let go of in order to do this? So beating yourself up, making excuses, like what might some of them be in order for you to accomplish the things that you would accomplish if you knew you could not fail? So we want you to start reflecting on some of this and start to really, our goal here is to get you to, if you're a writer, to get you to that next level of whatever it is. If you're if you're going to be a coach or consultant, if you want to start helping people, like what are the ways that you're going to try to start doing that? So letting go, that's great, Cindy. Letting go of fear and negative thoughts, that's definitely something that, makes a lot of sense. It's really hard to let go of fear because it comes in all shapes, sizes, and really kind of can, things that are fear-based might not seem fear-based to begin with. So, and then we'll do some reflections about times in your life when you did, like, how can you get to that place? Nice. So Lori's saying, me and my 15-year-old daughter are working on our book. We just moved and we need a quiet place now to work on it. Started it, but at a standstill now. So my cousin and I are writing a book together as well. So I can really relate to that. And I think sometimes we can, you can hold yourself back looking for the perfect environment as well. And even if you were just to go anywhere and write 5 pages a day, that would be a work towards that book of, or doing outlines for the next 5 pages or whatever it's going to be. We have ways of, we're giving you a couple exercises so that you can let go, and so that you can then focus on the things that you need to let go of in order to stop the standstill. So as we move forward, so that's great, Lori. Thank you for that example. So basically, like, finding ways that you can let go of the things that are stopping you, figuring out what those things are, because sometimes they are sneaky. And I always say, like, right, if you find that you're, want to write your book, but you're just, today's the day you really, really have to clean out the grout between the tiles, That's writer's block. That is a form of writer's block. So when, you're distracted by, you know what, sometimes, yes, we do need to clean out our garage or whatever, but do you really? Like, what is the thing that's holding you, that's making you go, today's the day I'm going to, alphabetize my CD collection. So when you're doing things that are really you have to stop for a second and see, is this something that's holding you back or something I can let go of? So step 3 would be, what are your non-negotiables? Like, what are the habits that you can put into place that are non-negotiable, meaning that you can commit to every day? And it's interesting because we say, I want to do this, I want to write my screenplay, but we think that we need to, get off and go out someplace in a cabin somewhere for a month. No, a screenplay is 90 to 120 pages, 90 to 120 minutes, right? So really, if you wrote a page a day, that's 3 months. You could write your screenplay in 3 months if you just wrote a page a day. You don't have to, we create these obstacles for ourselves. We create these things. So what could be a non-negotiable? You want to change your life, you change your daily habits. Those are the things. I am a master at creative avoidance, says Becky. I love creative avoidance. Oh, Doug says it's called creative avoidance. Yes, I'm a master at creative avoidance. Most writers are. But what are some of the non-negotiable things that you can put into place? And I'm not talking about huge shifts. I'm not talking about, I'm going to write 45 minutes a day. I'm going to cut out sugar and dairy and coffee. And, if we go too extreme, that's why gym memberships, people come in and they work really hard for, a minute. And then a week later, they're not so much. It's like, what are some of the smaller shifts you can do? Like, give me some examples of, I will read a book a month. I will put $5 into my savings account a week. Like, little things that you can do, because if you start creating those smaller habits on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, then small things can lead to bigger change. I think some of the, in our culture too, we're so instant gratification that we tend to go really far and fast down paths that I think hold us back instead of pushing us forward. So think about, someone give me an example. Start the day with meditation. Great example, Lynn. Love that one. Love that. If you start your day with meditation, honestly, even 5-10 minutes starting your day with meditation, that's a game changer that will everything else will change if you just do that. That's a big one, because that quiet time is really, really, really important. So Lori's saying 30 minutes after dinner, 4 times a week, no matter what, is what I'm shooting for. For writing, is that what you mean? So 30 minutes after dinner, 4 times a week, no matter what, is what I'm shooting for. So that's a perfect example of a non-negotiable. I think in order to make it non-negotiable, it's something that you want to not shoot for. It's something that, what is something that you can commit that that you can do? So I've been listening to this really wonderful podcast about weight loss, and she talks about, she could, in the very beginning, she could commit to not having bacon on her salads. It was that small. And it might sound silly, but it changes your mindset. That's awesome, Lori. That's awesome. So now we know that you have that, and we can help hold you to it. So that's one of the reasons too that we wanted to do this, so we can kind of help hold each other accountable as we move forward. Somebody's pulling in next to me going, what the heck? We will also kind of give you some baby steps of ways to kind of create these non-negotiable things, ways to create habits, ways to create things so that you can move forward. So step 4, finding your foundation. So finding your foundation is basically, let's take a minute to, figure out how we're going to move forward by looking in our past. So Cindy's saying, get up a little earlier every day, then you have a little more time to do stuff. And that's a really good one, Cindy, in terms of if you just get up a little bit earlier, you kind of get used to it. And then, you add, even if it's just 5 minutes, and you add 5 minutes onto your day the first week. And then the second week, maybe you try another 5 minutes. And it's called the teaspoon approach. Basically, if you add just a tiny bit each week, it definitely adds up till pretty soon you have an extra 30 minutes or so in the mornings that you can really get things done. And if you're a parent, getting up in the morning before everybody kind of gets up is a really nice time to, I know it can be hard sometimes, but if you can make yourself do it, one of the things is to make it easy for yourself in terms of put out your shoes right by your bed. So you don't have to think in the morning. But the night before, lay out either, if you're going to work out or whatever it's going to be, if you can, just, lay out what you're going to wear the next day. Do a little prep planning. If you can lay out your food for the week, that kind of thing. If you can make those kind of commitments, by the end of the week, if you can start to create those habits. And like I said, I wouldn't do like all of these at once, but maybe you start out just by putting your shoes by the bed, and you're going to get up every morning, you're going to walk before you even start your day. Maybe you put your clothes out, so that you can get up and you can just meditate and you can shower and put your clothes on. So it's like things are kind of in place, and maybe just that much of prepping will be the thing that kind of gets you moving forward. Those tiny little shifts can make really, really big changes. So let's look a little bit. So what are some of the things that have influenced you in the past? And so I would take a second, and we're going to reflect on this with the handout a little bit more, but take a second to look back into your past and think about the times, even as a child, like what are the times when you're sitting and all of a sudden, your foot's asleep because you're so focused on what you're doing that you haven't even been paying attention to the fact that your whole foot and leg is asleep because you're so focused on whatever it is. What are the things that lit you up as a child? What are the things that you've gotten involved in where you just feel so lit up and satisfied and happy when you're finished with them? And I got to be honest, these sessions, they have become that for us. Like seeing the comments that you guys make, seeing when we're inspiring people. Sometimes we get off on tangents and it gets really crazy. It's just such a fun check-in. And so if you're seeing this in a replay, I really highly recommend that you try to get in here. It's 5:00 on Wednesdays. And as you can see, I will do my utmost to be consistent with the 5:00 on Wednesdays, even if it means pulling off the freeway and getting in here. We want to try to be that consistency for you, because we really think that this can be a place where you can give us your report from the week before. Let us know where you're at. Let us know kind of a habit that you've done. So think back on the times that have really, really lit you up, and really explore those and go like a couple of things. Like what was that about? What was I doing that was really, you were clearly tapping into something bigger. And people say, what is my purpose? And you need to find your purpose. And, your purpose can just be, I want to get through the day in a happier way. Your purpose, I think we put so much in our society. We put, do what you love and live your purpose. And we end up putting this pressure on ourselves. Like, I don't love my job every minute. We put all this stuff on ourselves, as opposed to it being like, your purpose doesn't have to be, if you start just practicing, singing is a great one, Cindy, because you could sing all day and just kind of keep yourself going. But like, it doesn't have to be this big, grand purpose. I want to save the world. Because what happens is, if you decide today, my purpose is that I want to write 5 pages, or I want to go for a walk today, I want to meditate in the morning. If you have these shifts, what happens is the changes start happening. You start showing up as a kind of a better version of yourself. And eventually, whatever that thing is that, once you kind of have your own, put the mask on yourself, then you can help other people. So once you kind of have your own thing going, it makes it much easier to reach out and help others. It makes it much easier to serve a purpose in a bigger way. So I really think that it's a really so grateful you did say find your passion, right? I think we can get really caught up in that, and I think it puts this weird pressure on people, right? Just like we say, people are like, screw the 9 to 5, I'm going to quit my 9 to 5, and it's just, to me, it's like, for one, it's irresponsible for people that have online businesses just to say to people, just quit that job and let's write our screenplay. Yeah, if you're in a job that you're miserable, there are a lot of, like 80%, I think it's 82% of people don't like their jobs. But your job, look at what can you be grateful about that job? It's providing security. It's especially for writers, we have a certain thing where if we have that going on, your passion can be whatever it is. It'll come as you make these smaller shifts and make these, moves towards the things that you want to do. It just we had no idea, could not have anticipated when we started this. We were like, let's find people. We want to teach people how to read screenplays. That's our basic thing, right? And here, what are we talking about? Planning year 2019. That's not what we set out to do at all, actually. We wanted to help people learn how to write their screenplays, learn how to read, be readers. And when we first started it, we were like, well, let's target all these writers and we'll make them into readers. And we're like, no. Let's target movie lovers and people who love to read and write, and let's teach them how to do it. And it has been so eye-opening, because we're getting this group of people that's so enthusiastic that now it's become this like huge shift in us, as well as you guys inspire us, as we like inspire each other. It's become just such a bigger thing than we ever could have dreamed or anticipated. So if you and we started with we're just going to teach people how to read. We started with let's figure this out, and taking that small step and taking the plunge and kind of, take some courage to do that. But it doesn't have to be this big, grandiose pal. I love him so much. What's that from? Okay, Staples gift card. Who can name what that's from? I love him so much. It's kind of an older film. So step five, let's talk about money. Shh. No, let's talk about money. Show me the money. I really want to not whisper about money. And I really want, okay, how much money do you want to make next year? What do you want your salary to be next year? So you can go at this at a couple different ways. You can go at this with, this is what I need. You can go and figure out your bills and figure out how much your life costs and determine, how much above that you would like to make. Or you can just, name a number and work towards it. Or whatever feels natural to you. I mean, you want to be, I don't want to say realistic because I think realistic is relative, but if you're making, $12 a year, you don't want to say I'm going to make $1 million next year. You want it to be like, you're on this path. But also, I think you do want to dream into a certain degree of, how can I grow? How can I figure out ways to make more money? How can I get, if you're struggling financially, how can I get to where I'm not struggling? What are the steps that I kind of can make? We've actually done some sessions on this. And also, if you want to look at different topics, we put up a post about this because we have so many people going, this group is so confusing. I can't find anything. Search and scroll, baby. Search and scroll. If you just type in the topic in the search bar, all of the Facebook Lives and all of the posts that have to do with that topic will just poof, bink, magically appear. God, I'm dating myself. No one knows what that's from. Okay, I'll give you another clue in a second. So, what are some of the things that kind of hold you back from that? I think we talk about Julianne Carnes a lot. She has a book called The Abundance Code. If you have not read that book, highly, highly recommend it. If you have not read Jen Sincero, You're a Badass at Making Money, another great one. She talks about things that we, money mind blocks that we put in front of ourselves where we feel guilty about making money, or we think if we make money, somebody else is going to lose money. We have all kinds of hang-ups about money in our culture. And we don't really, I just had a lunch with someone today and we were talking about this where we don't train our youngsters how to, handle their finances and that kind of thing. People are like, what? Welcome to Los Angeles. Lynn wins I guess it probably wasn't a very good Holly Hunter impersonation, but yes, I love him so much. Just hold the baby. So awesome. Son, you got a patty on your head. That was going to be my next clue. So Lynn wins a gift card. I think we have your email. We'll look over. We'll send you a little link where you can download your $10. $10 in Staples. Yay! Hey, Mooshie. Nice to see you. So, think about that. So the first part of about money, the first step 5 is ding, 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 ding. I love that movie too. One of my favorites. I love the opening, and that movie is such a good one for studying because the opening in that film is so long, and its voiceover is not one of my favorite things, but it has a voiceover that works, and it goes this whole sand, that whole opening is super long, very unusual, and a really good example of knowing the rules and then breaking them. So the step 5 is how much money do you know you want to make? What is your goal? What is your dream? What is your, we do that with our company. We do that personally. What is the dream? And then step 6 is, okay, yay, Lynn, how are you going to get there? What are some of the things that you can do to get there? And we teach this for those of you that are in our screen reader program. We teach this within the program. And then we also have the coaching and consulting course where we're teaching people how to really, build an online business, how to start and build a coaching business, how to start. You could build anything. If you're an actor, it will help you with that. If you have art, if you're an artist, you can learn how to sell your art. If you have a book, you can learn how to promote your book. There's just all kinds of things you can learn with the consulting and coaching course. Lori, I love that my daughter likes to read the books before she sees the movie. That's very nice. You have a very smart daughter. I love that she's informed like that. That's awesome. That's very cool. So basically step 5 was what is the money that you want to make, and step 6 is what is your path to get there. So within the handout we'll give you some steps towards that, what are some of the skills that you can do, what are some of the writing gigs that you might get if you're a writer. There's so much out there. There's a website called Fiverr, another one called Upworthy, where you can be someone who provides both graphic designs, copy for marketing, writing for emails. There's so many people that need people that can write. There's so much opportunity right now for writers because of the internet, that these are places where you can you can put your experience, and basically someone doesn't pay you much to get started, but once people find you, they end up paying you more for your next work and so on. So highly recommend that you look at those places if you are. I mean, this is one of the ways that you can get extra income. Hi. I don't know how to say your name because I can't read Arabic. Is that Arabic? I think it is. What are some of the ways that you might supplement your income with some other writing gigs? There's so much copywriting out there. There's so many opportunities in that. There's not sure what you mean by what about you talk public speaking. Maybe that's what you're referring to. So there are ways that you can get, public speaking things. There are ways that you can go to Rotary clubs or, your local community and talk about how you want to help people write their screenplays. There's just so many opportunities out there that, we give you on the sheet. We'll give you little ways to kind of brainstorm what those might be. But what are some of the ways that you can get there? If you're not happy with the amount of money you're making, let's get some tangible, ideas. So if anybody has something new that they want to try, let us know what that is, let us know, and we're there for you, and we'll kind of help you brainstorm with that too. And we'll break down some of these topics over the next few weeks. Both in December and January, we're going to focus kind of a lot on, focusing, getting off the ground, getting things going. That's kind of where we're headed. So step 7. We're getting there. 7 out of 10. So now it's time to plan it all out. That is when the office supplies come in. Woohoo! So Lynn's got her Staples card. We'll give another one away in a minute. But basically, let's get some Post-it notes and let's write out, what are some of the things that you want to do? Write every day. I want to research how to start my own business. I want to find a partner to work with. What are some of the things that you think that you could do that would help you move forward? Write those out on Post-it notes. Just, stream of consciousness. Just, write them out however you'd like. But Post-it notes are good because then what you can do, or 3x5 cards, is you can organize them. So you can take that whiteboard or on your wall or whatever, and you can put all the ones that have to do with writing over here and all the ones that have to do with health over here, and you can kind of organize things. So then you can start mapping out a plan. So this is a great way to kind of get those ideas out on paper, get them into a visual place where you can start organizing them and moving them around. And so we're going to kind of take you through the steps of looking at the big picture and making that happen. So in step 8, that's when you start calendaring things. So if you go back, and maybe even if you type in the search bar the wheel, a few weeks ago we did an exercise about where we had you look at your wheel. That's a great one, Lori. Thank you for that. Thank you for reminding me. She has been doing blogs to help practice writing and good feedback. Blogs are really, really a great way. Diablo Cody, who wrote Juno, she was noticed writing a blog, and so they hired her to write a screenplay. It can be a really good way to develop your voice. You'll get feedback. You can start seeing what resonates with people. You can build a website with a blog on it, and then you can do what they call clickbacks. So for instance, you can guest blog on someone else's, and so then what happens when you do that is then they end up getting a link back to your website, which drives website traffic to your blog. You can start getting followers that way. It's a really good way to, the groundwork for writing a book too, is a blog and a website to start to get a following and start to get people on that. We cover some of that we don't really cover blogs per se in the consultant course, but some of that clickback and some of that ways to get affiliates and ways to get people talking about you, that's really, really, really smart. She's a smart girl. Very smart. She must learn from her mom. Journals and diaries, absolutely, Cindy. Writing every day. I really think getting a daily writing practice, really, 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 really important for writers, is to write every day. So we did a wheel a few weeks ago where we talked about, you scored yourself. So if you score yourself, and we're doing it here on a scale of 1 to 10, and there's 8 categories. There's a couple of them are like your career, and another one is your spiritual. How spiritual are you feeling right now? How connected do you feel? Another one is, your romantic relationships, and then your social relationships. So there's basically 8 categories, and we're going to have you go through and kind of rate yourself on each one, and then you can kind of add up your score and see where it is that you need help, basically, or where it is that you want to focus in order to take yourself to the next level so you can accomplish some of these things. So that is step 8. Step 9, now we're looking at obstacles and your energy. So in step 9, we're going to talk about what are the things that are, that might stop you? What are the obstacles that might get in your way? Because if you're aware of what those obstacles are, they're going to be far less likely to derail you. It's not going to be there are things that can blindside you. Absolutely. Blindsiding is, it can happen. But knowing, I have a tendency to go this way. So we have you kind of reflect on what are some of the things that have stopped you from doing things in the past. And then how can you show up to kind of make those changes so that those obstacles don't derail you when they show up, so you're ready for them. So that, because that's what happens is we have our daily habit. We are really the culmination of our daily habit. You want to know what your financial mindset is? Look in your bank account. You want to know like how you're thinking? Look around you. It's all reflected right back at you. So the other part of kind of obstacles is how will you show up each day to either, face those obstacles, how are you going to develop positivity? What are some of the things that you can do on a daily basis? Meditation is a great one to kind of keep yourself motivated, to keep yourself even, so whether you don't get too excited about all the great things or too depressed all about the bad things. You don't want your daily life to be a reflection of your circumstance. You want to create your circumstance so it becomes your daily life. And the more that you can maintain that even keel, the more that you can look at things to where you're not just in reactive mode, unless you're acting, because acting is reacting. Sorry, God, couldn't resist. So, what are some of the tools that you can use so that you're ready? You got your dukes up and you're ready for any obstacles that come. And that's what I do. Works every time. Okay, sorry. Squirrel. Sorry. Why does she say squirrel all the time? So, and we're going to take you through a couple of exercises where you can kind of reflect about what were those. Okay. All right. So that was step 10, right? Obstacles and energy. Yeah. Yes. Step 9 is obstacles. I got this. Oh, step 9 is obstacles. They're both 9 and 10 because it's obstacles and energy. So what can you do to, combat? What are the obstacles that pop up for you? And what can you do to... Such a nerd. So those are the 10 steps. Woo! We got through those. So basically we wanted to I know it was pretty quick, but we want to keep these, I like to keep these more to like 20, 30 minutes. We don't want to keep you too long in Hollywood Gatekeepers. So I know I was kind of racing through that, but those are kind of the basics. I know a lot of this is mindset, and a lot of people are like, what's that got to do with my screenplay? Or what's that got to do with reading scripts? It has everything to do with it. One of the things that we find in Hollywood is that you don't get fired, and people don't go, you're a terrible writer. Sometimes we need a gooder writer. That's another story. But they basically, they just stop calling. That's what happens when, they just don't respond, is really what happens. You get kind of ousted, as opposed to it being, unless you do something outrageous, but in general, they just stop calling. So this mindset stuff has everything to do with being able to stay in the game and being able to stay present, being able to, like I said, not, react too far and not let circumstance, not just to drift through life. And you want a balance. You don't want to drift through life where, you're like a ping pong, depending on what's happening to you, but you don't want to be the other extreme where you're driving so much that you're missing life. You want to try to find this balance between the two. So that's why we're here, because we want to help guide you through that. So Doug, why don't you go ahead and post the link to the handout. So go ahead and take a look at that. It's pretty massive. It's 10 pages and there's lots of exercises. This kind of gives you a glimpse into some of the things, and our screeners sitting here like, oh yeah, some of the homework that we give, because we have all kinds of quizzes and tests and things that we have people do so that you really know thyself is the key. Like really understanding what are your blocks, what are the things that inspire you, what are the, you don't need to know your big passion. You don't need to know like, how am I going to change the world? You just need to know, how am I going to get through today? What is the thing that's going to get me to this little tiny next step? When I wake up in the morning, and I honestly, Scout's honor, I do this pretty much every day. I have, throughout the day, I'll have moments of like, okay, reset. That was, when I do New Year's resolutions, I actually just pick a word, and this year was reset. I'll just go, okay, reset. Welcome to LA. Reset. He's posting it. There it is. Ask and you shall receive. Roger, where's the links to the handout? Boom! There it is. So, I'll be like, okay, reset. How do I want to show up to this? Like I'll do, okay, reset. Well, you'll take a breath. And I have a awesome partner that even today I was like, I'm sorry, I know I'm bouncing off the walls. We were talking about something that I was getting annoyed. And I was like, okay, reset. Let's focus on something else. And let's focus basically, wow, just like that. Let's focus on the things that we're grateful for, which is you. I mean, it really comes down to you guys. That's what we're super grateful for. And we're having so much fun doing this. So one of the ways, so we're doing 2019 and we're planning, we're helping you kind of plan whatever it might be, whether it's finishing, if you're a screenreader, finishing the course, whether it's staying in Hollywood Gatekeepers and figuring out your next steps, whatever it might be. We've just launched the screenwriters. We're doing a little kind of test mastermind group, and we have several screenreaders in there, which I did not expect. That was not what we were planning, but I just love it. You guys are so great. So we basically created this way to walk you through writing your first screenplay. And this is for people that, if you're a working writer and you have tons of screenplays out there, that's not really for you. But this is for someone who either you've written one a long time ago, or you've written some scenes and you haven't been able to kind of finish it, or you've never written anything, or you don't even know what you would write. Like, this really is taking people from really, yeah, he did. This, we're going to talk about that in a second. But this is the screenwriter program that we've created is really, we're just testing it out to see if it's something that we want to do in the future. And so it's basically taking people through writing their first screenplay. So it's open right now. And Doug, I forgot to send you the link to that. Do you have the link to the lead page for that? If not, then I'll post it in there later. But basically, you can go to the lead page, and we have a page that just tells you everything about it if you're interested in it. We're keeping it to a small number of people, and it's basically a group of people, and we're coming together online, doesn't matter where you live, and we're going to walk you through writing your first screenplay. So our first online session actually is tomorrow with that, and we're going to meet online. There is a fee involved, but we've tried to keep it really reasonable. It might be something that we do in the future. To be perfectly honest, we are not sure about that. So what they're talking about, we watched Love Actually. We do movie nights in the screenreader course, and we watched Love Actually, and it has a hideous song, and Doug sang it to me today, and now it's stuck in my head again. It's your fault. Okay, anywho, back to writing. Isn't that why we're here? Squirrel. Yeah. Shh. Okay, no. Let it go. No more songs. Stop. Zip.com. So we started the screen. I know, right? Paula's like, oh, as Joy would say. Sorry, we're getting off on tangents. This is what happens when we have too many screenreaders in the Hollywood Gatekeepers group, as we get off on our own little world. But we've created the screenwriter program because we really do want to help people. We want to see if this is something we want to pursue, is helping people write their first screenplay. So we're just kind of softly putting it out there. We're not advertising or anything. It's only within Hollywood Gatekeepers and screenreaders that we're advertising it. But the really cool thing that happened is a bunch of screenreaders like, I want to do it. They all jumped in. And so, but what's cool about that is the screenreaders are in the middle of the screenreader program. So they are learning to be, they are spectacular readers. And the work that's coming through is just really, really wonderful. So what's going to happen is anyone who joins the screenwriter group is going to get all this feedback from these great screenreaders. So Doug, if you can find the link, let me know. If not, I'll post it later. But we'll put the link in here. You can check it out. Check it out if it's something you want to do. Again, it's a soft thing. We are taking enrollment through midnight tonight. So if you do want to enroll in it, just, you can click on the link and you can check out. It shows everything that's in there. It has a place where you can ask questions if you need to. You can also ask questions in here. You can it's going to be really fun. And we're really, really thrilled with the response that we're getting. So it is filling up fast. There's a couple more spots left, but if it is something that sounds good to you, it is a way that you can get your screenplay done. Basically, we're doing it now. 1, because it's cool to start things in the new year. And 2, there's a lot of contests that happen in the spring that we're not affiliated with, but this is a way that you can get your screenplay done, and then you can use contests to get it out there. So that's kind of the thinking behind it. So does anyone have any questions about that? Or Doug, did I forget anything about that? It's the Screenwriters program, and it's basically, we do 1 session online. We start tomorrow for December, and we just kind of get things rolling. And then in January, we're going to do 2 sessions, and in February, we're going to do 2 sessions. And there's a ton of exercises to help you brainstorm, to help you learn formatting, to help you get your screenplay done. And then we will have where we share pages and we all talk about it, and it's going to be cool. I think, I hope. We're trying it. We'll see. So that's the idea. And that's a way that we want to kind of help everybody get their 2019. So we thought we'd give you the handout to the 2019. Take that home. Let's do 2019 follow-up next week. So here comes the link to the lead page. Somebody walking up to my car. Go away. I've always thought, why do we not see? Well, I guess there are some movies where you're something. I don't want anything bad to happen. Mickey's not here, but we did in my car one time, and he came with this whole horror thing, and I was like, no, shh. Anyway, there it is. So that is, that's what is that? That's not it. Or is that the link to I think that might be the link to the post, maybe, that has the lead page. There we go. That looks more like it. So that's the link, the one that he just posted. It's the link so you can kind of check out everything about the screenwriter program. Thank you. Sorry for not sending that to you sooner. But just check it out. See if it's something that you want to do. We've kept it really reasonable. The replays for the screenwriter program will be within Thinkific. We'll keep this will be in today's session will be in Hollywood Gatekeepers. Cool. So let's meet back up. Yeah, I'm just making sure I'm like not flying or something. Wednesday next week, and I want to hear some of the things that you came back with. So we'll remind you throughout the week. Let's see the work that you're doing. All right, cool. All right, you guys have a great week. There it is, Screenwriters Info. So check it out. See if it's something that you want to jump into. We'd love to have you. If not, we'll see you back here next week, and we'll follow up. I want to hear what you got. What do you have? What do you got? Okay. Next comment. Doug says, thanks. Thanks, Doug. Any more comments? There's a method to my madness. No more comments. There's one. Lori just won a Staples gift card. I just thought whoever the next comment was going to be is going to win the Staples gift card. So Lori, if you have not signed up for our mailing list, private message us and give us your email, and we will send you your gift card. Woohoo! Lori and Lynn, they both get gift cards. Don't let me forget Doug. All right, we will see you guys next week. All right, good luck with your handout. Go work on it. Can't wait to see the results. Talk to you soon.